You already know. Big Lou tapping back in. What it do with Big Lou and MZR2, baby. Bye. I know it's been a minute, but I'm gonna try to get back up on that saddle again and start getting back on the mission of dropping content. You feel me? So, anyways, as you could tell from that thumbnail, um, this is about the fight last night between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. Um, this is this I believe that this is the first time that Tank has, we've seen guys get in there and box Tank very well, but then eventually Tank catches him, knocks him out. Santa Cruz, a lot of different guys he's been in that ring with that he's ended up handling and getting them out of there. I've always said this about Tank Davis. He's a very high IQ fighter. On top of that, I mean, he'll be very patient and wait till that opening, and when he sees it, he takes it, right? And he also listens to his corner. So if Plan B ain't work, if Plan A ain't working, Plan B ain't working, he will sit down, when he's on the stool, and as well as uh, during the actual fight, listen to his corner. You know what I'm saying? And then eventually he comes out superior and gets a KO, right? I mean, before going into that fight, he was 30-0 with 28 knockouts. I believe it was 28 knockouts. He's only been to the distance a couple of times, right? But Lamont Roach showed that he has a solid chin, and he can bang out too. So I'm doing this video now because I just got done watching the fight over, and I will say this, that at certain points in the fight you can see that Tank was getting him out of his getting Roach out of his zone where they were he was talking during the fight, but nonetheless he sat there and banged it out with him. And that knee that Tank took, I don't care if his eye was burning because the hair grease got in his eyes, if it was sweat that got in his eyes or some blood got in his eyes, he took a knee. You know what I'm saying? He took a knee for whatever reason. That should have been counted as a knockdown, plain and simple. Even though he didn't get no contact from a punch, what are you taking a knee for? I mean, if that was the case, you could have just started backpedaling back to your corner, or backpedaling to get far away from Lamont Roach as you could to wipe your eye, or you know what I'm saying? So I mean, I've never seen that before. Well, I've seen it before, but never counted as not a knockdown. So that was awfully strange, right? And if that would have and if that would have been counted as a knockdown, Lamont Roach would have won the fight because it would have shifted. It would have been a 10-8 for automatic 10-8 round. You know what I mean? So it was counted as a draw. The fight was a draw, so that would have been a 2-point swing on the scorecards. So he would have won that fight. But he's talking about he wants a rematch. Shakur Stevenson told him if he can't get the rematch, he's willing to fight him for his title. So that's what we want to see. Boxing fans want to see the fights. There's that division at 130, 135. Now it's kind of like most of the guys that were at 135, that were at 130. Now they're at 135 or 140. You know what I'm saying? So they kind of went up in weight. But at one point it was the 130 division, 135 division. That was the junior lightweight and lightweight divisions. Now it's the lightweight and junior welterweight divisions. And they're still stacked with it. There's a lot of guys there. You know what I'm saying? Well, I mean, we can go down the list. You got Stevenson, you got Lopez, you got Tank Davis, you got Lamont Roach Jr., you got Keyshawn Davis, you got Lomachenko still around, right? You still can have Ryan Garcia still in that mix, Devin Haney still in that mix. You know what I mean? And there's a couple other guys that I'm not naming right now Matias just won a belt again last night by beating Gabriel Valenzuela. So it's a well stacked up couple of weight classes right there. At any point these guys can make the 5-pound jump, or the 7-pound jump. You know what I'm saying? And fight one another. So it's a totally stacked era. We've seen some of them already fight, but we haven't seen a lot of the ones that a lot of people want to see. You know what I'm saying? So it was a hell of a fight from both guys. But you got to tip your hat off to Lamont Roach Jr. because he done something that nobody's done thus far. Well, I mean, Tank's been to the distance a couple of times. What I'm saying is, I didn't see really Tank hurt him at all in the fight. I didn't see really Roach hurt him either, but at the same time, his skills were there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, leave her alone. His skills were there. You know, just hopefully if they fight again, he can keep himself from getting taken out of his zone and start all the talking during the fight. Um, I'm gonna drop another video. I started with this one because the fight just happened last night, but I want to comment on the the undisputed light heavyweight situation, and then also too on the Morales and not Morales, excuse me, Morale and David Benavidez fight. Maybe I'll speak on that. If not, though, if I don't get around to that, I definitely going to speak on David Benavidez, WBC ordering Boval to fight David Benavidez, which I'll get into that when the video comes because it's just a trip how the politics of boxing, how janky it is at times where this guy just became undisputed, and he just fought for undisputed before, lost. Now he won, so it's only right to run back the trilogy. It should be a trilogy, but no, they're already inserting there. Oh, it's mandatory. He has to fight him now. Which should. I mean, I get it, but they shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? They should allow them to fight a third one. You know what I'm saying? Same way that better be let him. Gave the run backs to Bivol. They should be doing. Bivol should be giving now the run back to better be that's it. Whoever wins that's it. The rubber match. Uh, and clearly WBC Soliman's already putting his 2 cents in, ordering that he fights Benavidez now. It's just, how come you weren't doing that when Benavidez was the interim WBC super middleweight champion? Why weren't you ordering Canelo to fight him then? So that's what I mean with this janky politics of boxing, man. It's you know what I'm saying? It's always gonna be a different story depending on who the people we're speaking of about is in consideration during that talk. You know what I'm saying? But it was a darn good fight. The morale in the Benavidez fight was a good one too. It just Benavidez was just too much for him. And look what happened there. Morale ended up dropping Benavidez. It was counted as a knockdown. It wasn't a clean knockdown in my opinion, but the ref still counted as a knockdown. So I don't understand why Tank Davis takes a knee, why it wasn't counted as a knockdown. Anyways, it is what it is. All right. So thing is too, these two guys knew each other. I think they already had fought each other in amateurs before, so they're already aware of who each other are. Um, and it was a good fight. I have to say that again. It was a good fight. They were going toe to toe, body shots, head shots, uppercuts, hooks, jabs. That's where I think he got taken off his game, was when he was doing that talking. He got away from the jab, double jab, and he was just trying to throw hooks and stuff to the body, upstairs. And I think, if he would have stuck to the game plan all the way, it might have been maybe more of a coming out more on his end on the scorecards. But it was a good fight. I don't think neither one of them should feel ashamed of how they fought. They both fought pretty damn good, hard fought. They both showed heart. They were in there exchanging, and so what I was getting to is about the first time. The first time that in my opinion, that it was more action packed and more, wasn't so much where Davis was like favorite in the fight. Obviously, it was a draw. You know what I'm saying? Those other two times he went distance, it was probably a unanimous decision. I can't remember right now off my head who he went the distance with, and I don't remember what the scorecards were, if they were unanimous or split decision. But nonetheless, this is probably his toughest fight yet in his career, and he's been saying things lately, about, he's trying to get out the boxing game soon. He's not trying to fight well off into his 40s or late 30s. He's 30 years old, and he's already made some money, but he's looking to make a few more good fights, mega fights, and hanging it up. Which is, I think, is smart in a sense. Especially if you're using your money right. There's no need for you to continue fighting if you don't, purchasing real estate and putting your money away in certain portfolios and stocks and bonds and things of those nature. But real estate is very important. That's why I think Danny Garcia done well But he made a post the other day talking about should he fight one more time. No, Danny, you should not fight one more time. You gave up the last time you fought. You look terrible. And so no, you shouldn't fight, Danny Garcia. Live your life out, be a dad, and help the neighborhood out like you do, and you continue to do. And that's I think that's where you're at. You maybe want to start being a mentor to some of them youngsters around there and getting them in your gym, and maybe you want to train, maybe you want to be a trainer. I mean that'd be about the besides being a promoter, that would be the only thing I would say for as far as you being in the boxing around the boxing game is either a trainer, and I know you do some promoting, but to actually get back in the ring, no. I think that ship sailed. Um, Not only do you look terrible against uh, I can't even think of the guy's name right now, the Cuban dude, um, Lara. Your your championship fights, you couldn't even against Thurman, against Porter. Even though I think you won the Porter fight, Thurman you start off slow and you couldn't catch up. Porter fight, I believe you won. Spence, you got beat. You know what I'm saying, and then the Lara fight, you got beat. So uh, it's your heyday is over. The 140, 147 is done with. Yeah, you know what I mean. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and tap out on this one. Short video. I think I hit the points I needed to say and about the fight last night and the little extra that I added in, the little sazon I added in to the salsa. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good in Hollywood. That being said, Big Lou tapping out.